CBS Sports lists one good thing and one bad thing for every NFL team. What we're going to do on Cardinals Today is look at what they have to say about the Arizona Cardinals. You are watching Cardinals Today, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and also here at Chat Sports, we're in a race between another new NFL channel, Jaguars Now. They have passed us in subscribers, and Cardinals fans, I don't want to lose the race to 3,000 subs to Jaguars fans. I need all the Cardinals fans to show up at Show Out today and hit that subscribe button. It is free. It would really help us out here and show the bosses that there are diehard Cardinals fans out there that root for this football team and have been for their entire life. So hit that subscribe button. Let's beat the Jaguars channel to 3,000 subs. It is a close battle at the moment. So I'm a guy that likes to start with the bad news, then we can end with the good news. And the bad news here from CBS Sports looks like this. The Cardinals season might be over before it even really starts. They play 3 of their first 4 games on the road, and it doesn't get much easier after that. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to be huge underdogs in 10 of their first 11 games at Chargers, Seahawks, at 49ers, at Giants. Not a huge underdog, but they host the Lions, go to play the Rams, host the Broncos, at Cowboys, Seahawks, Rams, at Chiefs. And so they mentioned being huge underdogs in a lot of their games to start the year, right? But also, they're underdogs the entire year, folks. Yeah, that's definitely a result of the Cardinals as a team, but this schedule is brutal. This schedule is not easy. It might be the hardest schedule in the National Football League. I mean, take a look at every game for the Arizona Cardinals on your screen right now, and you will see Arizona is an underdog in every single game. Their best chance is against the Jets, but home against the Jets, you can't even be favored? Or the Raiders? Every single game, the Cardinals are currently underdogs, and you could just see that schedule looks pretty brutal. I mean, arguably, it is the hardest schedule in the National Football League, just in terms of the teams you have to play, double-digit number of winning records last year. Okay, this is not easy for Arizona, and the NFL just giving them a tough time in terms of their opponents next year. But there are 2 pieces of good news for the Cardinals. That's right, 2 pieces of good news for Arizona. So the first one actually comes as a result of the bad news, believe it or not. The good news is that with this kind of schedule through the first 11 weeks, the Cards might be in the running to get the number 1 overall pick in 2027. Well, by most projections, they will be in the running to get that first overall pick. And as long as you're top 4 in that next year's draft, you can get your franchise quarterback. And one would really be ideal to get your absolute favorite prospect in a stacked draft class, whether it is Arch Manning by the end of the college football season, or Dante Moore, or C.J. Carr, or somebody new, because there's always somebody in college football that just rises and skyrockets during the season that wasn't on people's radars in the preseason. And so Arizona, I think they could actually fast-track their rebuild by getting their franchise quarterback next year, okay? You look at what a lot of teams have done across the NFL, like the Patriots got Drake May, and they had a 4-win season. And after that, they're in the Super Bowl. The Bears, they got Caleb Williams with their first overall pick, had a 5-win season. Last year, they're in the playoffs. That's what you do. Get the franchise quarterback, and that's a fast track to success as long as your organization knows what to do afterwards. And that tells me, is Oscifer part of this organization? If the Cardinals suck this year, do you just clean house and let the new GM pick the first overall pick? You might, if it's really, really bad and Mike LaFleur doesn't show any prowess, and I don't want to project that because I think LaFleur, is a talented offensive mind who worked under Sean McVay, but let's say the Cardinals are so bad next year offensively and during the season, do you just clean house and let the new head coach pick their quarterback first overall? Something to consider, and I'll bet some Cardinals fans are sitting there saying, Monty Oscifer getting fired is good news. So we'll see what that looks like. But the good news actually doesn't stop there for Arizona. We got one more piece from CBS Sports we're going to take a look at and some season possibilities for your Cardinals. Let's dive into that in just a moment. But first, special shout out to Prize Picks. It's the place to go if you love daily fantasy sports. Player picks are on fire right now. as playoff basketball gets going. And there's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with Prize Picks. With the social feeds feature, you could share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. That includes my lineups, producer Ethan's lineups. You can follow us on Prize Picks. Find your favorite celebrities on there too. Tail the picks or fade them and make your own. But you can get our picks before I post them on the show. Take a look at this $20 lineup I have with a payout of $91. That's right, folks. I like Evan Mobley points tonight, more than 11.5. Also going to go more on James Harden's points, more than 18.5. Call me crazy. Waiting on that Harden game in this series. I think it's tonight. Finally, we'll go Mikal Bridges, more than 4.5 2-pointers made. I mean, he's just been cooking inside, and he's done that in the past few games against Cleveland. Guys, the app's so easy to use. Pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stats and lock in your lineup. And if you're a new user, we have an offer for you. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code HMA, and you get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. The link is in the comment section and description of today's video, and that is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Now, for the second positive for Arizona ahead of 2026. Let's take a look at what CBS Sports had to say. When you're an indoor team, you always want to play as many indoor games as possible late in the season, and in that sense, the NFL did the Cardinals a huge scheduling favor. From November 23rd through the end of the season, the Cardinals will not play a single outdoor game. Here is what Arizona's schedule looks like starting in Week 12. Commanders, Eagles, bye week, Jets, Saints, Raiders, Niners. If the Cardinals can win their indoor games in 2026, they could be a surprise team. Surprise team? You hear that, folks? I will say that it's an easier part of the schedule that is indoors. And when you're a warm weather indoor team, that definitely serves to your benefit at the moment where getting hot at the right time, pun intended, is perfect. It's that back half of the season. And that's an advantage for the Arizona Cardinals to have only indoor games from November 23rd and there on out. Something to consider if they are a team that was going to make a run. That would be a good time to do it, folks. Indoors, comfortably. You want to win games right before the playoffs and get hot going into it. I know I'm talking about the Arizona Cardinals here, but I'm just saying this is a scheduling advantage for teams that would be good. And I will say this about the Cardinals as well. I always say they have pieces. Like, I think the narrative around the Arizona Cardinals is just so negative all the time. And I understand that, especially as, a fan, when the franchise is losing, it's easy to be negative about it. But there's playmakers on the team. Okay? The wide receiver duo is strong. Jeremiah Love is in that offense now. The running back room is stacked, honestly, when you have Love, Algier, and James Conner, and Trey Benson, and Bam Knight. I mean, what are we going to do with all 5 of those guys? It's an offense that has weapons, and Jeremiah Love is more than just a running back. I mean, he will do everything you need him to for an offense. I'm still so fired up about getting him 3rd overall in the NFL draft. And so some folks, for those reasons, think Arizona could be a surprise team this year. And I would love to be one of the folks that says that. But mostly those folks are, Cardinals fans that are dealing with the optimism hype of the offseason, right? Wait till this team takes the field. I think quarterback is too big of an issue for Arizona to be competitive this year. And all of a sudden, Ian Rappaport is confirming that Jacoby Brissett is not present as his team begins the first practice of voluntary OTAs, and that the quarterback is staying away as he seeks a raise for 2026. And unfortunately, as I mentioned at the start of the show, you get your franchise quarterback, then you build around. The Cardinals are in a spot where they're having to do it backwards this offseason because there were no good quarterback options in 2026, and 2027 is going to have much better. But basically, your best quarterback option, who, by the way, was 1-11 as a starter last year, is holding out. Your best quarterback option isn't great, and he's not even showing up. I mean, I can't pick this team to win against that schedule, and that's the state of the quarterback room. Cardinals also thin at the edge position. There's still holes on the roster, even though I like a decent amount of the offseason moves they've made. I'm over the moon Jeremiah Love is an Arizona Cardinal. Glad they were able to sign Isaac Seumalo to the offensive line. O-line was their biggest need. Seems like they're just going to run with Elijah Wilkinson as right tackle, though. There's still holes on the defense and in different areas that need to be filled, despite some promising young talent on offense. I want you to tell me in the comment section what you think the Cardinals' biggest weakness is. Let me know down below the biggest weakness for the Arizona Cardinals. Get that in the comment section. I want to read your opinions, and I'll reply to them if you give me the Cardinals' biggest weakness. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. And that will do it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. Your good and bad news for Arizona. I'll keep you posted whenever there is Cardinals news and rumors. I'll make a video, so make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're a diehard Cardinals fan. I've been your host, Joey O'Donohue, and I'll see you next time.